puzzled as to what the actual strategy of negotiation is.
Axios reports the call between Trump and Netanyahu was tense.
What the F are you doing? You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. Everybody hates you now.
And cue the fire. It is official. The breakup is beginning. I feel like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Which one's Brad? You are F-U King crazy. Trump, guess he got a little upset at Netanyahu. So it looks like Dawn and Ben need to go into some marital therapy here. Now, okay, here we go. This is where people jump in. They're like, Trump never said that. Hold on. I mean, people were there. He's a madman. Trump, yeah, okay. Both sides. But it gets kind of confusing. Even from the horse's mouth. Tonight, I spoke with President Trump and told them that Hezbollah, blah, 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 drop bombs. And us as Americans were like, pop the confetti. Trump is starting to wake up. I don't think so. You see, you're always best to question the narrative. You're always best just to go, okay, we're just going to go with propaganda. You know the old saying, do as I say, not as I do. Just watch what they're doing. And you could watch what they're saying. I mean, just as long as it matches up with what they're doing. Ben just said, the bombing of Lebanon will continue. After this short break from our advertisers, he's Donald. 45 posts in 1 hour. Someone take his phone away. We not have to go through this same argument during the last 4 times you tried this out. I don't even think 14-year-old girls post that much. One of my assignments back in the day, I'd have the students, how many hours do you spend on the interwebs, on social media? When you add it all up, it was like 42 hours in a day. I'm like, how is this even possible? Oh, well, when I'm sleeping, my friend has my login because I can't break a streak. And can we get an award for this guy? I mean, it has to be 45 posts in 1 hour. You got to win something. Oh, here's one for you, which is currently happening. Israel is dropping some kind of white phosphorus on the people in Lebanon. So can we check this one out? Oh, and you're welcome. I know you don't have the time. Let me look. Lebanon, Israel unlawfully using white phosphorus. Human Rights Watch verifies use of incendiary, that was a tough one, weapon over residential areas. Residential areas in Lebanon? Okay. And I say, let me be devil's advocate here. Maybe he's not crazy. Maybe this is the real deal. Okay, well, why would he do it in broad daylight? I'm pretty sure the UN would not allow this. In breaking news, we have alerts, and just to confirm that, yes, he did say these things, I have the not far-right news organization. Fox News Jesse's going to tell you how it all went down. But remember, friends, at the end of the day, don't believe anything.
Fox News alert, the Iranians just got the wind knocked out of them. Overnight, U.S. forces conducted airstrikes on multiple targets. The president even called Netanyahu today, asking him to stand down in Lebanon. Trump kind of lit him up. According to Axios, he told him, quote, what the F are you doing? You're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this. 47's trying to nail down this peace deal, and Netanyahu's trying to lock in as many gains as he can before the deal's done. But it says don't be a panicking, and the markets aren't blinking. Another day of all-time highs for the Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P. The S&P just had its best 2 months run ever.
Oh, breaking news. Everything is great. Markets at all-time high. Basically, what the markets are doing, they're just telling you what's in the future, which you're probably not going to like. It's kind of like this. Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket. We need to go all in like never before. Remember when he said that? Well, it's happening. Yes, but bravo, that's Bitscam or Bitcoin. Like, come on, who would ever? Me. What I like to do is I like to buy things low and then sell it high. Then with the proceeds, I buy assets. And yes, I would agree with you that this would be monumentally stupid if I sold an asset and then, okay, we're going to stay in the dollar. And you were not meant to stay in the dollar. It's fiat. Yes, if you wanted to, you could just save in gold, you can save in silver, but if you understand charts, you could actually buy low, okay, gold low, it goes up, okay. You sell, you're in fiat, it goes down, okay. You take that profit and you buy more at the bottom, and then it goes up again. People go, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I can do the math for you. I buy gold at $1, it goes to $2, I click sell. I now have 2. And then it goes back down to $1 again. So then I take these 2 and I buy it again. And then it goes up. Then I have 4. And then it goes back down to $1 and I take these 4 and I buy 4 more. And then it goes up and I have 8 or I have 16 and I just keep doing this. Since I went to LA Unified and that was math, I probably screwed that mathematical equation up. But you get what I'm saying. While gold replaces U.S. Treasuries as world's top reserve assets, well, until it switches again. I don't have a dog in the fight. If you just want to save in gold and silver, that's fine. You're already beating 99%. Now, you're not beating the 1%, but you're beating the 99%. When you turn on indicators and you buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high, you keep double, triple, quadruple. Also, since I have you on the line, I get this question a lot. So let's break it down for you. The dollar is fiat currency. We can all agree on that. We're good? Here we go. And debt-based currency simultaneously. So you have sheets of paper and getting a loan, like a $10 loan, as equal. 2 layers of the same architecture. So let me just say this again. Money is created and is only created in a debt-based system by loans. That is what we have been in for quite a long time. And I use that debt-based system to purchase assets. And I'm constantly moving my money. Now, the next question number 2, I get this asked quite a few times. Well, what happens when you create a loan, $1 million, and you have to pay it back with interest? Where does that interest come from? Some people will say, well, it'll be new money created. It is not. That interest has to be taken from someone else that creates a money loan. Or another way of answering this, if money is debt, it always comes with interest attached, but the interest was never created. That's the structural scarcity baked into the whole system, that you need someone else to create a loan. When that loan is created, new money's created. I need that new money to pay for the interest. Or I could create a new loan, then pay for that interest. Do you see? I hope. In a debt-based system, you always need more. If you create one loan, you have to create 2 because you have to pay for the interest. And then if you create 2, you got to create 3. If you see the U.S. debt clock continue to rise, that is because you're in a debt-based system and they will constantly create new bonds. So if a politician ever says, we're going to pay off the debt, they're lying to you. Also, I need to answer this question: why Bitcoin go down, stonk market go up? I will try to be brief and answer that. It's going down because people click the button. There's a sell button. If there's no one on the other side to buy, it keeps going down. In a traditional 4-year Bitcoin cycle, it should go down until close to the end of the year. Oh, and if you want to know what I am doing with my Bitcoin, I'm going to do just like what I did over there, make a lot of money. I've had this open long up since all the way back there, and I said there's a high probability that 64,390 is going to get filled. It's going to get filled. It's going to pop. And then I'm going to sell again. Then I shall buy more. But do I think this is as low as it's going to go? No. Am I stupid with money? No, I'm not. Also, I don't fall into the trap. There's only 21 million. That's it. If you just hold one of those 21 million, imagine all that. They created ETFs. So there is an unlimited supply of this. And if you wanted to know why this reacted different before as it does now, that's a big reason. It's the same thing that they did with gold, same thing as they did with silver. It's unlimited. No, it's not. Those are fighting words, Bravo. Real silver is real. You see, it's hard money. I can hear it. That's not why they call it hard money. Yes, I understand your argument. Then I could say, same argument. There's only a limited supply of gold and silver. Well, there's only 21 million Well, no. I know my gold friends like Peter Schiff. I've had him on so many times. And I am okay with being wrong. I think if you are not owning this asset, come on. Just don't do it at 130,000. Everyone's like, come on. I'm like, you're nuts. Buy it at 63,000. Do you see the difference? A lot of people bought it at 130,000. I was not one of them. I was actually unloading bags at that. Now I buy low. And then when it goes up there, you get it? Now let me answer this question. Can someone explain to me this like I'm 5? The S&P 500 closed at record highs. That's because of Donald Trump. Stocks won't stop. Bitcoin is still down 43%. You're in the cycle. It is crypto winter. You're welcome. No one knows what is happening. I do. So this number is gonna go down. This number, well, a speculative asset will front run this one. You also should look at the dollar. There is a inverse correlation, usually with Bitcoin and gold and silver. And I think at the end of the year or now, if you know how to trade this, it's going to be such a good time because here is the stonk market and here is Bitcoin. One of them's lying. Well, that would be everyone. Everyone is lying. No matter, you turn on the news, it's like a propaganda machine, gaslighting, what else? Warfare for the brain. And that's why I teach you every single day. I'm like, you don't have to buy low, sell high. You could trade it. Here's today. Number go up. Student took 3 trades, made 1,725. This is legit. It was all done right here. That's it. It was very easy. Institution, we going down below the 20, below the 200. Click buttons, boom. I got in trouble there. I thought we had another leg down. We didn't. Then the dojis, this one you'll learn about in my course. Very explosive. The second one, I'm like, nah, and a little bit of pride. But at that point, my student had made all of his money, and I'm like, I was wrong. He took the money and run. Also, we're still doing this 100,000 prize pool. Link in the description, maybe. We've incorporated the glitch, the one I don't show on this channel. It is here. What I show you is, it's difficult. The second glitch, very easy. I've seen the emails. You guys are doing incredible. So before you do anything, you need to learn where the sell button is, where the buy button is. That's why I have a course on it. I have it for $2.99 because it's going to $3.99. I'm starting to wrap it up. And I'm trying to do everything in my power to fix this. New data reveals 1 in 6 Americans say they feel financially fulfilled. Would $1,700 help every single day? $400, $200, I don't know. Would it help you? And I never thought my courses would end up doing this, but they did. So many of you guys are actually quitting your job. I don't want you to do that. I want you to always do things that you enjoy doing. If you love farming, do farming. Don't stop that. And don't worry about things like this. Help wanted, entry, because they're saying jobs are so plentiful. Just post it on the window. Entry-level position. Just requires a PhD or master's or equivalent. Starting salary, $12 an hour. I mean, you saw jolts. It was very jolting. Wow, government. Really cooked the books on this one. It was a 9 sigma beat. Almost impossible, if not impossible. Biggest ever. Sure. Life is great. It couldn't get any better. Stock market at all-time highs. It's forecasting even higher. Job openings outnumber employed workers in the U.S. Look at this. Look at this. First time since June 2025. Then it's interesting how the government always leaves things out of their propaganda and lies, like foreign-born workers accounted for about 90% of U.S. jobs created since the vid, according to the BS data. So do you see when I see something, the first thing I do is I take a grain of salt and I put that grain of salt in my mouth and I take it with it. When people stand up and they're like, yeah, Trump's on our side. He's figuring this out. It's like, and I do believe he could end up being the best president the United States of America has ever had. All he has to do is go, you know what? I was wrong. I'm going to decide that it's of America's best interest and not Israel's. You know, we're kind of protecting our own. Imagine the uproar. I mean, people will be like, yes. Then he's like, and here's the Epstein files, and here's the gold vault, and here's the... And the war's over? It's just 2 weeks? See, very skeptical. When I see the numbers, the jolts, I'm like, okay, again, grain of salt. And then when you see these people on H-1B visas, why isn't that stopping? Why is a percentage of working immigrant households with the plentiful jobs using welfare in the U.S. 97%, 75, 74? The job openings soar by 9 sigma. I don't believe you. I mean, I believe this, but come on, biggest ever. What you feeding me? And breaking news, that's why I stick to pushing buttons on a screen in the morning, 5 minutes. Ta-da! And I believe this because I watch it every day. Also, prepare yourself, just like I jumped up and down with gold and silver. I'm like, look at how it's topping with the stock market. Look at the 10-year, the 100-year. Look at everything. You got to look at the charts. And then people throw tomatoes at me and they're like, you don't know. It's different this time. It's always different this time when it's an asset that you're in love with. Or you're an investor. Guys, you're in a super cycle wave 3. You are currently at all-time valuations. Have never been like this. This was the .com. Here's now. Here's where we are. Are you sure? You are more overvalued than 1929. You are more over .com. You've never been richer. 2026, what do you think is going to happen? Let me draw this down into the toilet. But okay, go ahead. It's different this time. So your retracement is going to be pretty easy. And again, since doing if you click the subscribe button, I do this every single day. And I'm like, here, this is where it's going. Well, they don't believe me. Like later, they're like, how did he get that right every single time? Well, understand a little bit of Fibonacci here. You're probably going to come back and retest this. You're also going to come back and retest the 200 moving average. You always do. That's this one right here, the 200 EMA. Ta-da, 6,000. So buckle up, Buttercup. Also, I would become an investor at the 200. You know, just let it go. Now, not on the 2-minute. To find it on the NASDAQ, what you're going to want to do is go up there, click the daily. Do you see this line that just goes straight vertical? There is, well, hold on. There was a pullback. There will be 100% of the time a price to pay on this. Because what goes up like this comes down even harder. Now, did I tell you it was April Fool's Day? I said, I know someone that's going in with like $1 million. Maybe that shut people up that are like, you always say that the market's going to go down to here. Go ahead, Brad. You hold my bags, which were right about there. And you will learn in my course, see this dotted line? That's 45 degrees. This is a Fibonacci. Here, I'll show you how to do it. Come over here and you click right there. And I am going to go over here to this corner, and I'm going to pull it all the way up so you can kind of see 40, 45. See? Markets like to travel like that, not like this. They also like to find consolidation. Look in between these two. See that over there? Where it consolidates, breaks lower. I just can't do it. This, no bueno. This, you give back. But that's just for my investor friends. Learn how to do this every day. Wake up for how many minutes? 1 minute and 3 seconds? Make some trades. Later on, you can be that investor, but not right now. And with that, take advantage of that. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.